to know. You have to know.
They're just all so humble. They don't wanna give it away.
No. I like that he's got the beanie in game as well.
Of course, he needs it.
Geo and Bloom, let me jump in because it's time for me to get out again. This one is ready. Lennli versus Blinky. Geo and Bloom, over to you.
Thank you very much, Paula. Let's get started. Moving in Blinky's favor. Let's get them straight into this. I'm very excited to see them work. It's going to be fun to watch Blinky move around the map.
I thought you were going to say it's going to be fun to watch Blinky win, and I was going to be like, hold on.
Just giving it away.
Give Lennli a chance.
Yeah. Well, they're going straight in. As we can see, we have some Google car meta, so certain Google cars are specific to certain countries in some instances. In this one, we do have a roof rack with some black tape. It's a classic sort of meme in the GeoGuessr community, the Ghana black tape. So we should just be in Ghana. They're lining up the roads, and they're making their guesses. They seem kind of close to each other.
Hey, I actually knew that one.
Yeah?
Yeah,
there you go.
That's how you know. Even normies know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a common one. It's talked about a lot. And Blinky on the correct road, but 20 points down. Lennli very close.
Only 20 points,
yeah,
though.
Like, 20 points.
We've seen a couple games now where it's been like 300 points for the first bit. So actually...
Yeah, really fair play to both
start.
of them. Good in a small country. It's understandable. It makes sense. So let's send them into round 2. So round 2 here, looks like we're going to be in Ghana again, actually, by the looks of it. As the players will notice soon, we'll see the black tape again. Players at this level, though, don't need the roof rack or the black tape anymore. It's pretty clear to see Ghana, when they've played this much, they can just recognize it. Not too much to go off. There are some signs. Maybe they're getting some information from that. Most helpful here would definitely be more like a road number.
I love this, actually, how, you know, at the beginning, Lennli was saying how I'm not really much of a moving player, I'm more of a no-moving player, and he's probably moved about 20 meters down the road in total in this round here.
Yeah.
And it was Blinky who actually used a lot more of that movement.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to be a big strategy. A lot of these players who aren't big moving players is they're definitely going to take these moving rounds and just guess quick, make the timer shorter early, make those players who are probably better at moving rush and not have the time that they would normally get to make a good guess. So round 3 here, we're in the middle of a field. Really not a lot to go off of, but the players are going to be happy to be moving around. Let's get them started. It should be European. We do have Gen 4 camera. They're going to look at some houses around. But a couple options here. We'll see what the players can find. They're just going to want. They're going to want some. They're going to want some signs. Yeah, Lennli wants to move on this one. He is seeing this pole here that is very indicative of Romania. You see, all he saw is the pole. He knows the country. He gets the guess, and he doesn't want Blinky to be looking around for things. Romania does have these wide holy poles, is what they call them, and they're painted white at the bottom. So, good indicator of Romania.
Blinky's gone right on the border.
Oh, and Lennli.
Wow.
Closer look at that little smile on Lennli's face. He's very happy with that guess. A very good guess, not letting Blinky look around too much. And now Lennli holds a pretty big lead as we go into round 4.
All right. So, not a bad way to begin.
Yeah, let's see what we have here. We do have some language there, which looks like Sinhalese, I think, if I'm saying that correctly. Probably not, which would be Sri Lanka, though. So let's get started. I don't know if any of our players can read that, but yeah, should be pretty.
We don't have any Sri Lankan players in the tournament.
We don't.
I don't believe,
we don't.
So.
We have India representation with May Potato, a legend, but that is about it. So it looks like Lennli just put his guess in. He doesn't want Blinky to look around, but Blinky is going near the capital here and gets it. Yeah, that's a good guess. That's going to get Blinky back a little bit closer, but Lennli's still holding the lead here as we get just about halfway through our first round, our first game.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a good guess that put him in that lead in the first place. So to be able to hold that out for at least a couple rounds, obviously he could lose it in this round. There's still time for that to happen, but...
Yeah,
it's made it like a relative, you know, mathematically a relatively even few rounds so far.
Definitely, yeah. And let's get them quickly into round 5. I mean, this should be India, if I'm not mistaken. But it's weird. It has like coverage that looks like India, but actually I think it's like Ecuador. Yes.
Those are two very different parts
very
of the
different.
world.
It's hard to the specific. There's this camera quality. I don't know if you noticed that it's like good quality, but also like blurry.
Yeah.
It's like all of India and very rare in other places. But wow,
Oh my
Blinky
goodness.
almost on top of it, 1.8 kilometers away, taking off so many points from Lennli. That is a serious loss on Lennli's side. At half health, Blinky at 4,400.
There's an old like Eurobeat style song called Ecuador that I just have in my head.
Oh yeah, you're just like jamming out to it.
It's a banger.
I don't know it, but I'm sure.
You would recognize it if I went singing it.
Okay. Well, we got our players into round 6. This to me looks like an Argentina location. Looks like Blinky has seen some signs, which will be helpful for him when Lennli just sent a quick guess. But Blinky, Blinky is going to work. Oh, my God, Blinky with a 4,999 on top of it in, what, 20 seconds?
Lennli knew. It was the double thumbs up. He knew that death was upon him.
That
and look at my man's just jamming out to the tunes still.
Yeah.
What I would love, actually, is like an overlay that tells us what they're listening to.
I would love that. I need to know. I need the Blinky playlist.
Yes, because that is the answer.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to do no move. I mean, basically what happened there is Lennli knows the country. He says, I don't want Blinky to find any information. Let me guess. But Blinky takes a couple steps, sees some signs, and with how good Blinky is, locks it in.
I mean, it's a good strategy in the sense of if you know that your skill set lies in a certain place, then you're playing to the strengths of that, but it's still risky in the sense of there is time for your opponent to be able to just strategize based on what they have and be able to use that to their advantage and kind of exploit their situation. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic from that perspective, that you can still see the weaknesses in the way that Lennli plays purely based on that, but you can also tell that it's actually a really good way of playing based on where he sees his own strengths.
Definitely. And we see Lennli here. He's lost a little bit of confidence, but it's understandable. It's Blinky on move. He can get back that confidence. I think
like if you're coming into the game not thinking that moving is going to be your round necessarily, then I don't actually know how much confidence that I would assume he's probably lost, because maybe if it was on no moving and he's like, oh man, that's meant to be where I shine, like probably a little bit different, but I would hope that he can let that one go a little bit more and just kind of keep his composure going into these next rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to do it. He just looks like he's gotten a little more serious. He's locking in. He's making it happen. He's ready to go. So now we are on our game 2, no moving, which is going to be exciting. I think this, in terms of what people are solid at, this will be helpful for Lennli, but both are great at no move. So let's see how this goes. Let's get them straight in to this round. We should be looking at a Kyrgyzstan here. Both players are going to know that pretty quickly. Some people, I wouldn't be surprised, for instance, if Blinky, some players have memorized a lot of the roads in Kyrgyzstan because there's not too much coverage. And so it could be doable that they know the road here. Blinky does seem to be looking at a specific road, Lennli as well. Again, we were talking about some Google cars earlier. This specific Google car is unique to Kyrgyzstan as well as Guatemala, weirdly enough. But with how this looks, that's Kyrgyzstan and Lennli with the 5K and a little celebration. Feeling good. Take that round 1. He's going to feel great about that. Very happy as we go into round 2. Let's get them started here. So this round 2 here should be Bangladesh or India, but I think it's India, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, should be. But India's a hard one. India coverage only came out relatively recently in the scheme of at least the game. And so some people have learned a lot more than others. There are people in the community like Duskden and Maypotato who have taught a lot of people good stuff about India. But a hard country for sure. We see Blinky zooming in here up in the north. Lennli seems to be going north too, but east. So big country, 1.5 times damage. We'll see.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Like I said earlier, like I often look at the language. I know that Bangladesh has quite like a curly script, but there's so many different languages in India that I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. And they're about equidistant, so the point differential isn't massive, but with a little bit of a multiplier, that's 600 points, and Lennli keeping his lead, which is quite exciting for him. He'll be happy about that going into round 3.
I mean, it's still narrow.
Yeah, it's still quite close. Let's get them straight into round 3, see what sort of information they can get from this round. I think it should be a Brazil round here. Quite beautiful in the water.
Oh yeah, you can see the flag.
Oh yes, there is a flag off in the distance. I'm sure they saw that. Blinky seemed relatively confident on a town, but could be guessing.
Both of them are just examining these tiles.
Yes.
You know, it's all in the tiles.
Yeah, it's all a tile. It's a tile game.
Like the flag doesn't matter.
It's just tiles. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I think actually there must have been a sign that I missed them see that said the town name because they are both in the same town.
Right.
I must have missed that, but they saw it, and that's what matters. So they're both getting same city, and Blinky on it. 4999. Lennli just a little bit away, but nothing to write home about as we go into round 4.
6 points. That's how you know. Like I love that when you know you're watching two really well matched players when it's like, oh, big round, one of them lost 6 points.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no, 6 points. Yeah, no, definitely. Let's get them straight in round 4 here. This looks interesting. We do have an octagon stop sign and some double yellow lines and a speed limit sign. So all indicative of the United States of America. However,
quite dry.
Yeah, quite dry. Could be kind of southwest. We'll see where our players end up guessing here.
There's like a water behind you.
Yeah, there's like some water over there.
Playground.
It's a unique location for sure. It seems like some sort of park or something, which can be harder for some players. But you know, this could be, I mean, it's the United States. It's massive. A lot of it looks relatively similar.
But Oklahoma on one side.
Yeah. 2.5 times damage, big country. We'll see what happens.
You ever been to Oklahoma?
I've never been to Oklahoma. I haven't been to too many states, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just a couple.
Just a couple.
Well, that works. It is Oklahoma, and Blinky, that's a great guess. I mean, there's the lake. That's 1,700 down to Lennli. That lead that he was holding on to has gone away.
Decided to go for Kansas.
Yeah, and we get into round 5 here. This is an interesting location. I think there's a couple options here. Let's get them started. We do have a yellow center. I don't know. Possibilities here are probably Canada, I would assume, would be the best guess. But
the trees are giving that vibe.
Yeah. So one indicator between Canada and the U.S., Canada very commonly has a single solid yellow line, while the U.S. barely ever has a solid singular yellow line in the center. But both can have double yellow in the center. But yeah, this should just be Canada. Canada, another big country, 3 times damage. Should be interesting. And the players are guessing pretty differently. Blinky, New Brunswick, Lennli in Ontario, and Western Ontario at that. This is going to be a lot of points. Oh, yeah. He's moving. He's moving closer to Ottawa. Oh, and what a great, the finger guns. That's the game with that one round. Look at the celebration from Lennli. Wow, the last second move, almost on top of it. Blinky with a little head nod, a little disappointed. Lennli feeling good, vibing out.
See, that's one of those rounds where you really want to ask them, like, what was it that made you go? Clearly, both of them knew that they were in Canada, but to go over to the Maritimes versus in Ontario, 2 very different places.
Very different.
Because I feel like generally, if you want to know that you're in the Maritimes, you're going to look for like the colourful houses and stuff that you see around it. But there is no civilization in this image. So like I would love to know specifically what like gave them that vibe.
What they're looking at.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I was thinking about more of like an Ontario guess, but I was like, maybe don't guess, Bloom, because if you're wrong. But it made sense. I see the guess. I see the guess going New Brunswick. It does make sense, but something to me about kind of like the rock walls being close to the road. Something felt a little more Ontario to me. I think New Brunswick generally is flatter, and so something about that was making me think about that. But and probably Lennli as well, and it paid off for him. And that last second move was a great decision.
Right.
Yeah. So with that means we go into an NMPZ tiebreaker, which should be interesting. I honestly don't even know who I would favor in that format, but we'll see what happens. I think regardless, it's going to be excited. It's going to be exciting, and it's truly like so exciting to see Lennli like do this well.
I mean, yeah, I think at this point, you know, there has been this whole narrative about there are these two guys in Group D who are really the ones to look. You've got Blinky, you've got Harmless. Lennli's already beaten one of them. I suppose there's a potential that he could beat the other one here, and I think after that, it's not even just about how that affects him and makes him feel like he could beat everybody, but how anyone here is going to realize, wow, this competition could be anybody's.
Yes, it really is. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, all these players are worthy of being here, and that alone is enough that they really all could win.
Yeah.
Let's get them started in this NMPZ game. Round 1, the best of 3. This is the tiebreaker. Lennli is not happy to see this. He's quite disappointed. So what we're looking at here should be like, it's kind of hard to say. It could be South Africa. It could be maybe Botswana. I think Lennli, I see him there. I think I would lean South Africa. But we'll see. Yeah, it is South Africa. Lennli going Botswana. A little bit of a blunder, but not a horrible guess. It can be a little green over in that area. Blinky takes round 1. Round 2, instantly some good information. Let's get them straight in as it is NMPZ. This pole here, this black and white pole, is a Peru thing. Their signage will be on black and white poles. Other good indicators are these brick houses, very common in Bolivia and Peru, but this is Peru, with this pole here. So they know it. They're getting in quick. They don't want to wait the 60 seconds. They're good to go. It's
going to be another one of those instances of like just who ends up closer.
Yeah. Yeah, and they both thought it was a similar area. Ends up being super far north. It's very common in Peru. Peru is a harder country to region guess for sure. Cool. We get into round 3 here. Let's get them straight in as well. So here we do have a Kenya round. That should be a Kenya follow car. So in Kenya, they had a car following the Google car for safety reasons. But this is some of the newer Kenya coverage. There used to be older Kenya coverage as well. But this is pretty common. Foliage and everything looks pretty good. Hard to region guess this one specifically, but yeah, they both guessed a similar area as well. Just goes to show that a lot of players think similarly at this level, guessing very similar guesses.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are in healthy level of points, so, you know, there's still plenty to play with.
Yes, most definitely. So let's get them into round 4 here. Round 4, by the looks of it, should be a Thailand. These beautiful mountains here in front of us. Oh, there was a flag, yes. But they know it. Lennli seems to be at an airport, which is interesting.
All my favorite airports look like this.
It is Lao. Yeah, it is Lao. I forgot. We got the yellow plates, which should be Lao, but can look very similar to Thailand. But yeah, it is just Lao, Lennli, and Blinky, both very close. Only 5 points.
That'll be why it's not a Thai flag then.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the flag of Laos.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's okay. So I am looking around as we are in the caster mode. Players are only getting this here, which is interesting as I send them in to start, because what I just saw in moving was the Guatemala car, as mentioned earlier. The same car as Kyrgyzstan. But we have it in Guat. These players are not seeing that car. And that car would be a dead giveaway. However, without that information, will they get Guatemala? Guatemala, we will see. So there are certain Guatemala polls which I don't see, which would help them. But realistically, this could be scary. I could see them going Mexico here, or getting Guat. We'll see what happens.
I feel like these kind of thatched roofs are also, like, that can't be something that you see everywhere.
Yeah, no, definitely. Lennli's moving back and forth between Colombia and Guatemala. He's keeping it. Oh, is he in Mexico, actually? No, he's in Guatemala.
He's in Guatemala.
And they're close, they're close. Will he keep it there? Look at him, he's
praying.
They're praying. He's praying, he does it, and it pays off. He gets 8 kilometers away. That's 270 points down on Blinky.
Oh, man.
Wow, that was fun to see his webcam there.
Especially, going backwards and forwards, you've just got to commit to one, and thankfully it paid off for him in the end.
Yeah, he does it, and it works great. So let's get the players started. Out of habit, I'm looking around, but all these players get is this still image, and they do have some signs here. Whether or not they can read them, hard to tell. You see them getting closer into their monitors, but we'll see what they end up guessing. It should be a Sweden here by the looks of it. or Estonia is another
It doesn't look like
option.
Swedish.
Oh,
That's
they
not
have
Swedish writing.
Yeah, they have a mix, and it is Estonia. That could be horrible for Lennli.
That's
That
he's
is
still alive.
3,000 points. He lives 2,000 points as we go into round 7. That is a bummer. I see the Sweden guess. I was thinking about it too, but it did look more like
I feel
Estonian.
like with Swedish, you want to look out for. I know we're in a room of Swedes, and so someone's going to know what I'm talking about and be irritated I don't know the name. But they have the little circles on the A's,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
which none of those signs did.
Yeah, true.
And also, I don't know if they have like umlauts on E's here. I don't know.
True.
I could be wrong, but.
Yeah, well, let's send them into this round 7. Lennli needs to make a comeback here. Blinky's almost on full health. We do have left side driving here with a yellow center line. This looks pretty indicative of Thailand. If I had to say, there's not too much they have to look at. There's a bit of a green sign up there. If you can see that on their left side of the road, those are very common in Thailand. They usually just give a lot of information about the area you're in and everything. But hard. Thailand is one of the few very big countries in GeoGuessr that hasn't truly been tackled in terms of meta. Recently, people have been getting quite good at Russia, which used to seem impossible.
Okay.
There was only a couple people who were really good at region guessing it consistently because of how big it is. And in the last couple months, that's been changing. But Thailand is still one of those pretty big ones.
I heard that when Thailand was invented as a country, that was actually one of the specific aims.
Oh yeah, make it hard in GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were like creating all the countries in the world.
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
Like, yeah, of course.
It was like, well, we got to have one that just like is just super hard.
Oh, and it ends up being
wow.
far south. Blinky
That is-
closer with that. That's the game.
lot. That's
That
a
is
lot.
a bummer of a way for it to go out. But Lennli's going out with a smile. He's feeling good. But really, really fair play to both players. Seriously, Lennli did really well, and Blinky killed it though.
Yeah, and even like for a lot of that NMPZ round, you know, there was a lot of close guesses as well. And like you were describing, like Thailand is a country that's really hard from a meta perspective. So if there is going to be one round that is the one that you're going to fall short on when you're playing against the ostensibly best player in the world, to have it happen in Thailand is probably actually not too bad as far as things go.
It's not the worst way to go out. They can feel good about that. They're having a good time. They're laughing about it, and they both have some more matches to play and everything. So they're feeling good.
Yeah, 100%.
Just one juggernaut too far for Lennli this time, and Blinky comes out on top. That was a riveting game, though. That second round where Lennli bounced back, it added a bit more sort of poetry to how it went.
Yeah, no, definitely. That made it quite exciting. I was really happy to see Lennli take a game.
Yeah. Geo, any surprises there, do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that just seeing how close it was from the get-go was quite surprising. I mean, especially this whole story of the fact that like Lennli wasn't even supposed to be here, you know, and obviously just how strong Blinky is and how much he's been spoken about. So for it to be that competitive, especially after a first game for Lennli that went the way that a lot of people didn't necessarily expect, it just really shows how close this group of death actually is.
Blinky, congratulations on that win and welcome to the sofa. How are you doing, mate?
I mean, thanks, great. Like, it feels good to win.
Give us your general thoughts on the W. It was 2-1. Did it play out how you expected?
I mean, the moving was great, yeah. I was confident on it that I won, and I thought I did play pretty well. No moving, like, was one blunder. Like, I wasn't really, I was confident at first, and I realized I did a mistake. I know I would win, I would lose on that round. And then MPZ, I knew wouldn't be an easy win. Managed to clutch it in the end, but really could have been gone either way.
Yeah, okay, so when you got to that NMPZ then, were you feeling the nerves a bit? Were you worried how that might go?
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to keep my nerves in check all along, but yeah, definitely, it's the most nervous you can get is like when you're about to lose. And on that Thailand round, I was really mindful of what should I do. Like, I have a feeling, but I'm not confident. I'm not going to risk it. I should try and minimize my chances of losing. Like, you try to think of all that, and it gets really fuzzy in your head.
You did a great job. Geo, Bloom, any questions?
I mean, do you think that there is an extra level of kind of pressure that you're feeling because you're the favorite of the tournament?
I mean, I hear you guys talking about it a lot. I mean, yeah, it's seems like everyone wants me to have all the pressure in the world, but yeah, I don't think I'm that big of a favorite really, and I think anyone can win. Like it's so close games all around, and really people that are qualified or disqualified thus far, I feel like it could have gone different ways.
Yeah, how did you feel on that moving Argentina around where Lennli was like, no, I'm just gonna guess, and then you quickly found the signs, everything you needed?
Yeah, I mean, I realized he was going to do that straight away, that he was going to guess no matter what round, like even if there's a sign right in front, and I noticed, like Argentina, I was like, I might guess straight away, I see the sign, I'm going to go to the sign, I might be able to 5K really quickly. Yeah. And I did it, that was really good.
Yeah, that was very exciting to watch for us.
We were actually talking about it as well. What happened with the Canada?
Yeah, so I had the feeling straight away, like when I saw the round, even like when the round loads, you can see like a dark version of the NPZ screen, and I thought, that looks like New Brunswick. I pan around and maybe confirmation bias, and I'm like, that could really be New Brunswick. I try to line up quickly, I don't find anything, but I'm like, might as well guess. And then as time runs out, I'm like, might be Ontario. I think I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Just too late to change at that point.
Yeah, you wanted to commit. Understandable.
I mean, you didn't really have a choice. Really.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Geo and Bloom, if you've got no other questions, Blinky, is there anything you'd like to say to everybody watching?
I mean, thanks. I might lose, and that's okay.
I like that. Well, Blinky, congratulations once again, and good luck moving forward.